All the details in our first forecast. Matt, the snow totals on this were all over the place.
They really were, Laurel. Very variable. The east side getting the bulk of it. The west side really not so much. Even the West Hills only a couple of inches up there. Here's downtown Portland right now. You can see the snow in the hills, of course, and this is where the snow is the heaviest. We warmed above freezing today, which sounds good, but in a way, it's not, because things got a little wet, a little slushy, and it's going to be freezing big time overnight tonight. Now let's check out Doppler radar. East winds too, really strong in East County. 22 miles an hour at the airport. It's been gusting over 35 there. First of all, Astoria, beautiful scene there. They had a lot of snow at Astoria as well. Looks like somebody's doing some snow art down at the bottom there. 38 at the coast, where it will also drop below freezing. Now, on Doppler radar, a couple of snow showers left over the West Hills, some more up around Scappoose. As we widen the view out a bit, there's a few more over Yamhill County and western Washington County. So we're not totally done with these snow showers. Even some rain showers now between Salem and Canby, just east of I-5. But temperatures will be dropping, and we'll widen the view out one more time. You can see the circulation with our storm is down centered down around Newport. These snow showers will be winding down overnight tonight, and even before they do, we won't get any new appreciable accumulation. So the question then is what happens next. But first, I want to show you some of the snow totals that we had after we look at our temperatures. 32 in King City right now, 34 in Beaverton and Portland, but it's only 26 in Happy Valley, and there's a lot of snow cover out there, about 3-4 inches in Happy Valley. That's going to help. And colder overnight tonight. The Gorge still well below freezing in the upper 20s, and boys, there are a lot of snow coming to the Gorge beginning tomorrow night. Here's what fell in some spots. Some of the highlights for you. Camas had 8 inches of snow. Longview, 7.5 inches of snow. Bonneville Dam had 12 inches of snow. A place called Bearport, which is northeast of Portland, about 15 miles or so, at 1,200 feet, had 15 inches of snow. I'll show you that later on. Gresham had 4 inches. Mount Tabor had 2 inches. But then as soon as you go west from Mount Tabor, it really dropped off. No measurable snow in downtown Portland, and as I mentioned, just a couple of inches up in the hills. So for tonight and Sunday, it gets really cold as those snow showers end. If the sky really clears off, we'll drop down into the teens. If it does not, we'll still make the low to mid-20s. So cold either way, even without a clearing sky. And then tomorrow, we'll get some sun early, then the clouds increase, and then snow begins in the afternoon hours again. We're looking at 1 to 4 inches of snow, but then the snow level climbs and it lifts up into the hills. It'll be between 500 to 1,000 feet later tomorrow night and into Monday morning. So this will mainly be a rain event for the bulk of it as we go into the daytime hours on Monday, but before that it should begin as a little bit of snow. So there's still a lot to unpack here, and we'll do that a little bit later. Back to you.
We look forward to that. Thank you, Matt. And early this morning, ice played a big role in several crashes, including this big one on a freeway flyover in downtown Portland. A lot of people glued to their TV sets this morning. I know I was, as our Sunrise crew watched this happen live with the driver of that SUV trapped there.
I couldn't take my eyes off this one. The crash shut down the ramp from I-5 South to Interstate 84 East for, get this, 5.5 hours. KGW's Pat Norris was there too and spoke with the driver of that SUV shortly after he was rescued.
Before dawn, we could see the blinking lights and the Love's fuel truck stuck on the flyover ramp. Beside it, barely visible, a maroon SUV driven by Alex Reem Sapiano. I met him after he was finally able to drive his banged-up rig off the overpass. We talked inside the SUV. I recorded him with my phone. He was on his way to work when the crash happened.
A 4Runner had spun out. There was about 6 cars ahead of me. Everyone had slowed to a stop. Then I looked in my rear view, seeing that the semi was coming and not slowing down, or at least not slowing down as quickly as I thought he should have. So I tried to get out of his way because he was on the far side. And then the car in front of me did the same thing, cutting me off, so I had to stop. And then the back end of the semi came out from behind him and hit me.
And that was that. He was stuck, wedged between the Love's fuel truck and the edge of the freeway. And behind them, traffic started stacking up. At first, it seemed the crash would be cleared quickly.
And the original tow truck driver was having me hit the gas while he was trying to pull me out, but I was too pinned in there.
And that's when everything slowed down. Other tow trucks arrived, but couldn't do anything. Finally, a big semi-tow arrived at the front of the fuel truck, but still could not find a solution. As we watched during our live broadcast from Sky 8, we had no idea what shape the driver was in. The fire department arrived, and incredibly for those of us watching, Alex came out the driver's side window.
Oh my, here he comes.
There we go.
Wow.
Just fine, and fortunately had the fencing to help with his balance.
I could have got out of the car anytime I wanted to. I just didn't want to leave my heater.
Smart move, smart move. Eventually, the other drivers stuck behind the crash were able to back down the freeway ramp and clear the road. That let the big tow truck return, this time on the backside of the fuel truck. They lifted it up and moved it over enough to free Alex and his rig. After 5.5 hours, he was finally able to drive off.
Call the boss and say,
That's who I was on the phone with before you walked out. Because he just got back to me.
Well, if he doesn't believe it, tell him to look on the news.
Right?
Oh, dude.
He seemed fine after the long ordeal, in much better shape than his SUV.
Well, I'm so glad that you're okay.
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. And thanks for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
That was Pat Doris reporting that rig was so smashed up.
Yeah, and that railing too, right there. It ended not much before that crash.
Pretty scary.
Boy,
Lucky
yeah.
there was no passenger there. It was
My
banged up on the other
Yeah.
side. Well, East Multnomah County, another place that saw a good amount of snow.
Kyle Aboshi is out in Gresham for us tonight, getting a first-hand look. And Kyle, Gresham got several inches of snow.
Chris, and that snow is still in the ground. Not surprising, though. It is cold out here. You look behind me, this is the main city park right in the heart of Gresham, and a lot of snow on the ground there, as you can see as well. The city park turned into a snow park today. Dozens of kids and parents brought their sleds and took a ride down the hill. The snow was icy and fast, good for sledding. The only challenge is to avoid the obstacles like benches and trash cans. Several people we spoke with, like the Carlson family, have been coming here for years.
It's a secret that gets passed down.
Secret's out now, apparently.
I guess so.
The snow's just right. It's not quite ice, but it's not powder, so you get lots of speed.
So what do you think about the sledding out here today?
Good.
You going fast?
Yes.
Any crashes?
Few.
But you're all right. A lot of little ones out here having a good time today. The nice thing is a lot of folks can just walk here. It's right in the neighborhood, so they don't have to drive and come out here and enjoy themselves. Back to you.
All right, Kyle Aboshi and Gresham, thank you, Kyle. Depending on where you are, you might be digging out or wondering exactly where all the snow is.
Southwest Washington saw its fair share this morning. That's where meteorologist Joe Ranieri is. He's live in Yakult. Joe, how's it look there?
They got more than their fair share, Chris and Laurel. Now, when we drove out of downtown Portland, of course, we didn't see a whole lot, but it didn't take too long where you could really start to see the accumulation adding up. Of course, that was throughout Vancouver north. We went from Vancouver to Battleground and into Yakult. We're in the one of the Yakult primary school parking lots. I'd say there's at least 3 to 4 inches of snow here. And the deal is, like Matt was going to say, we're going to be seeing some very cold temperatures overnight. So what doesn't melt is still going to be here come tomorrow morning. The good thing is this is kind of one of the main roads through Yakult, clear roads. Big thanks to one of the residents I saw just about 15-20 minutes ago, believe it or not, in a gator that was plowing some of the roads to make it a little easier for residents out here. But I did speak to a couple who just moved here from Tennessee. This is their first Pacific Northwest winter, and they're excited to see it. I caught up with them over in Battleground, which saw their fair share of snow. Here's what they had to say when they were kind of out exploring Battleground State Park.
It's a little bit wetter than I thought, but that's okay because we like the cold and the damp, and the roads clear a lot quicker than I thought they would. But the back roads are still a little dicey.
Yeah, back here live, we were driving some of the back roads through Battleground, of course, Yakult. Very slick conditions. You kind of get more in that rural area. There's not a whole lot of sunlight over some of the trees. So whatever didn't melt within the last 12, 18 hours or so is going to refreeze. So there will be areas that are going to be seeing some very slick conditions heading into tomorrow. And coming up at 5 o'clock, we're going to actually get into Drive 8, and we're going to drive around and show you just how slick some of those roads are expected to be here in just the next couple of hours once the sun goes down. Back to you guys.
It can get dicey. All right, Joe, thank you for that. And of course, we know the Gorge is a known trouble spot when we get weather like this.
And that's where Art Edwards is. He's in Troutdale, the gateway to the Gorge. Art, how's it looking there now?
Well, there's a lot of snow on the ground out here right now, and it's going to probably be like that for a while. And you can also see that the entrance ramps are in actually pretty good shape over here at I-84 right now. The wind is starting to pick up as well, so that's causing some issues. But the entrance ramps are in pretty good shape. But once you get onto the interstate itself, that really begins to change. The highway is still covered with snow just east of Troutdale, and then further beyond, we saw a lot of trucks that just simply pulled off the side of the highway so they could put on their chains. We went as far as Cascade Locks, and the road got no better as you got further east. Now, we came back and stopped over at Multnomah Falls. There were a lot of people there to take in the sights with the snow on the ground and everything else. We caught up with some people who are here from South Carolina going to school. They say they've seen snow before, but not so much at one time.
Yeah, it's more of like an icy snow. Yeah. It's like it kind of freezes up.
The most we get is like 3 inches, never this much. But
and it lasts like a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's sunny especially, it just melts right away in like an hour, but it's so beautiful here.
Well, that's what a lot of people were saying. It is so beautiful here. They loved seeing Multnomah Falls with all the snow right there. They just wanted to see what it was going to be like. Most of them said the drive to get there really wasn't too bad. They just needed to make sure that they took it easy on the road. Now, we have seen a number of ODOT trucks come through here, so we know that they are plowing the highway itself, but still there is ice on that road, and you do have to take it easy if you're going to be driving east on I-84, and it looks like it's probably going to stay that way for a while. Back to you guys.
Just do be careful, but it looks spectacular. I can see why people want to go out there. Thank you, Art. Stay with us. We're going to have a lot more on the system and when the next one is coming.
You your whole life.
Here's our storm coming.
Or it's your first winter.
This is not normal.
The most accurate.
Snow bullseye.
Most trusted morning team. KGW News at Sunrise. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. What has lasted 5,000 years was once almost lost. Now, the world awaits. The Divine Culture's return. Shenyun. Coming to Keller Auditorium, April 12th through 14th. Tickets at shenyun.com/Portland or call 888-974-3698. Xfinity presents Sports Sunday with Orlando Sanchez. All the action and expert analysis. Sundays at 11:35 p.m. Only on KGW. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
Live from the Starlight Lounge.
1 + 1 = 2, little too late. A soccer bam boom, who's in the room? Love is dangerous, but driving safe means you pay less. Switch and save, yes ma'am. Excuse me, miss, does this heart belong to you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Tuesday through Sunday, Salem Fairgrounds, 8 top dealers, 2 full buildings, over 200,000 square feet of RVs, new and used. First 1,000, online only. Download complimentary admission at salemspringrvshow.com.
Chris and I were just talking about this as everybody got ready for this weekend storm. Many of you saw store shelves like this completely picked clean.
So we wanted to see how local stores are rebounding today. Nina Melhoff went out to take a look. Joins us live, Nina.
Yeah, well, restocking of many stores like Safeway here in the Pearl District being held up and slowed down by their delivery trucks today. A lot of them come from out east, and they have to battle icy I-84 with a lot of wrecks. So check out the video from here today at Safeway. They certainly still have some empty shelves. Certain kinds of milk were totally wiped out last night, and those shelves are still empty today because their delivery truck didn't make it. Safeway says they had some delivery drivers call out, so they were short-staffed, but they were restocking creamer. At stores across our region, produce bins were picked clean yesterday. Many stores tell us they are getting restocked today, and it was looking pretty good here in Northwest Portland. Only cauliflower and some zucchinis and peppers were totally gone. Jugs of water, bread, eggs, alcohol, and TV dinners were big sellers. Stores are gearing up for our next rounds of snow, but with the mad dash, imagine what a real emergency would be like.
I think that they're thinking they're never going to eat again or something, so they come and just buy everything, and then they wake up and there's no snow now. So it was interesting.
Yeah, check out the video from Costco in Beaverton yesterday. This is the line for gas. Streets and stores relatively quiet now, though Safeway, like many stores, they watch the weather. They try and anticipate these runs on many of these goods, so they over-order them. But they did not anticipate the type of crowds that we saw yesterday. Back to you.
I know. I'm sure we haven't seen that for quite a while. Thank you, Nina. We're talking about the variation in snow. You said it would be like this, and Chris and I were just comparing notes. He lives in Happy Valley. How much did you get?
We're at about 670 feet, so we got 3-4 inches.
And I'm in Northeast, and we got just a tiny
just a little bit.
And I live in the West Hills, higher than you are, and I only had 2 inches. You had more snow there, so it was super variable. Then you come to downtown, and there's basically nothing.
Right, yeah.
So it really was one of the more variable snowstorms that I've ever seen.
Hard to predict.
You know, that's why we had a fairly wide range from an inch to 4 inches, and last night late I revised that to a half an inch to 4 inches, and some of you barely even got a half an inch. So apologies to those of you who didn't get it, and we're looking forward to it. Let's take you outside right now. There's downtown Portland, which is not that snowy, but you cross the river and go east, and as we were just discussing, really snowy. It's 34 degrees right now, and that east wind is back. It's 22 miles an hour at the airport. Even higher gusts, about 30, 35, and stronger gusts as you head out towards Crown Point. No surprise. So the air is cold. It's not as cold as it could be, though, and that's one of the reasons why I think we didn't get as much snow everywhere. 38 out at Astoria, and they got snow. Look at the snow still on the ground. It's kind of funny. Astoria has more snow on the ground than downtown Portland does right now. So still tracking a few snow showers, but they're winding down in the downtown core right now. But still some over southern Washington County into Yamhill County here. And you can see the spin, the circulation like that as they're going around this area of low pressure, which moves slowly down the coast. Is down around Newport right now. So that's what we're dealing with. Those snow showers will end overnight. We don't have far to fall to get back below freezing, and many of you already are, like King City. Happy Valley's only 26. It's 30 out in Boring, 37 in La Center. But out in the Gorge, you're in the 20s. The coast, you don't have far to fall to get it below freezing either, and you will. And the point about that is everything is going to freeze or refreeze overnight tonight, because especially if the sky clears, we're going to see low temperatures dipping down into the teens. Okay, let's check out Futurecast. This is continuing from now into tomorrow, and it shows a little bit of snow shower activity potentially overnight, but I'm not too concerned about that. And then we clear it out, and then as we go to tomorrow night, another system comes on in. Now that one will be a little bit different because it's coming at us from more of a northwesterly point of view or track. And so it's going to move inland to our north. And when that happens, we're going to pick up that southerly wind again tomorrow. And that should warm us up enough to lift the snow level up to about 500 to 1,000 feet. But before that happens, when the snow begins tomorrow evening after sunset, it's probably going to just be all snow. And we can pick up a quick 1, 2, 3, 4 inches before we get that shift over. So the modeling only showing about 1/3 of an inch of snow for the West Hills. Less than that in Troutdale, about 1/2 inch in Gresham, but a whole bunch is head into the Gorge. This is Monday at 3 o'clock at this point. So again, we're going to get some snow tomorrow night, but I think by Monday morning, the bulk of us will all be just experiencing rain unless you're up in the hills above 500 to 1,000 feet. No warnings or advisories around Portland right now, but there are around the rest of the Northwest. In fact, this one up by Yakima is interesting. That is a blizzard warning they've got going on up in that neck of the woods as the wind continues to blow there. Okay, so the bottom line for us is that we're going to see the snow showers end overnight tonight, and things will be improving for us as we go into tomorrow in the morning hours. And then we get that snow coming in as we go into Sunday night and Monday morning, but that will turn to rain for most of us. Laurel, Chris, back to you.
All right, Matt, thank you for that. And we're going to continue to track this winter weather. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Students throwing tables over, throwing chairs.
Now we're hearing from you. An overwhelming response pouring in. Dustin writes, classrooms in crisis was dead on. Kimberly pleads, these amazing educators need this support. Melissa shares, thank you so much for shining a light on a crisis. We've obviously touched a nerve. We are committed to telling these stories and looking for solutions as KGW continues to investigate classrooms in crisis.
Why are Subaru Outback owners always smiling? Because they've chosen the industry leader. Subaru Outback holds its value better than any other vehicle in its class according to ALG. Better than Murano. Better than Santa Fe Sport. Better than Edge. Made Make every adventure a happy one with Subaru Outback.
Get 0% APR financing on the 2019 Subaru Outback, now through February 28th.
There's a new $1, $2, $3 menu hack at McDonald's.
Now you can choose 2 of your favorites for just $3.
Like a savory sausage McMuffin.
A classic McDouble.
Or a crispy McChicken.
You can even mix them up. And here comes any size soft drink or any size coffee for $1.
It's the new Choose 2 for $3 on the $1, $2, $3 menu.
This is the all-new Chevy Silverado.
It's beautiful.
Beefy and mean looking.
It's the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. The cab is bigger than the last generation.
First truck I've seen make you look smart.
But that's not all.
Oh my!
Whoa! The Silverado has more cargo volume than any competitor.
Very impressive. Get a total value of over $7,000 on this all-new Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. See your Northwest Chevy dealer.
All right, welcome back. Some got it, some didn't. One place that did not see a lot of snow was downtown Portland.
Okay, we did see a few flurries earlier.
Flurries, yeah.
You looked out our window here at the studio. It looked like a snow globe for a while, but there's not much now. Kristen Severance is live downtown. Kristen, what are folks saying that you talked to?
All right, there's really no sign of any snow in downtown Portland. In fact, the only sign there was any snow is this really cute little snowman that someone built earlier, complete with a mohawk. We're hoping this little guy survives in the elements. Really, a lot of people out in Pioneer Courthouse Square today. We saw one guy running in shorts. We saw some people out without coats. And most of the people we talked to, they were a little disappointed they didn't see much snow in downtown.
I thought it was going to be hell. I thought it was going to be like where I'm from, Canada. I thought it was going to be wild, icy, everything, and it's not. It's fine.
I was hoping it'd also be a little bit snowy on the ground.
That's pretty unpredictable. So we were actually hoping for some snow, but not surprised that it didn't quite happen.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have smoothies.
Yeah.
But you don't even have gloves on.
No, it's really not all that cold to me. I thought I was going to have to bust out the snowshoes, but I'm just in sneakers. So.
Do you think I'm overdressed?
Yes. Yes, ma'am, I do.
Yes, I am so overdressed. I have so many layers on, snow pants, boots. I really look like I'm ready for the mountain. I am kind of out of place down here, but it could have been a lot worse. Look at all of this stuff I brought for the snow. We have yak tracks. I had a thermos with 4 cups of coffee. I had hand warmers, scarf. So you know what, guys? I am prepared. My ice scraper just flew out. I am prepared if we do, in fact, get snow this season. Back to you.
I love that. I have the same kind of bag going.
Yep, we all do. You'll need it.
Thank you, Kristen. Stay with us. More photos up next.
Five-star review. Okay. Native deodorant. The internet loves it, and the internet hates everything.
Ever notice that the farther away you go, the closer together you feel? Memories built to last in the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe.
With all the top designer brands under one roof, our expert stylists have you covered from head to toe.
Replenish your closet with 229 designer suits. All dress shirts, 3 for $99, plus take 20% off select items. It's time to like the way you look.
The strength of a company comes from its employees. Their dedication, skills, sacrifice, and loyalty make us who we are. They champion your needs and strive every day to place the utmost quality, service, and integrity for every customer and repair. Thanks to our employees, we are the finest in collision repair.
This is the all-new Chevy Silverado.
It's beautiful.
Beefy and mean looking.
It's the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. The cab is bigger than the last generation.
First truck I've seen make you look smart.
But that's not all. Oh my! Whoa! The Silverado has more cargo volume than any competitor.
Very impressive.
Get a total value of over $7,000 on this all-new Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. See your Northwest Chevy dealer.
And welcome back. Downtown, of course, wasn't the only area that didn't see snow today.
Cassidy Quinn joins us now. You were ready for the snow with your hat. You brought your snowboard.
My snowboard is in the lobby because last time it snowed 2 years ago, I was snowboarding down the hills in Southwest Portland. So I am just feeling a little FOMO. So I'm ready for all of the snow.
People were disappointed, and they expressed that on social media.
Exactly. They were taking pictures of the disappointment, which I am feeling exactly. So I'm just trying to live vicariously through the people who really did get a decent amount of snow. But alas, for now, we will stick with those of us who are a bit sad to wake up to none of it this morning. So Solomon had his ruler out, ready to go to measure 0 inches of snow in his backyard in Hillsborough. Eric's ruler, a little more to measure, but still not much. He says, we will rebuild. This snowplow, also ready for the day, but left a little bored. So, you know, guys, better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. And I will be back with some actual snow photos in a little bit. Back to you.
All right,
Looking forward to that. Matt Zaffino will have the latest on when the next wave of winter weather will arrive, coming up next.
Oregon saves, because money doesn't, you know.
In severe weather season, be ready for anything.
Another round of snow.
Didn't take much the other day to make a mess.
The KGW Storm Team.
It's blowing like crazy.
Tracking rain, flooding, wind, snow, and ice.
Another storm develops.
Know what's coming. Download the new Portland weather app from KGW for severe weather alerts on the go. Rod in the morning.
What's going on right now?
Matt at night.
Keep that in mind.
Keeping you prepared and out of harm's way. Rely on the KGW Storm Team.
Tonight, a variable winter storm.
I almost like slipped and died. No, it's not bad at all, actually.
From just a dusting to half a foot.
East County hit hard. Downtown mostly spared from the snow, but not the ice.
Forerunner had spun out. There was about 6 cars ahead of me. Everyone had slowed to a stop. And then the back end of the semi came out from behind him and hit me.
A dramatic dawn on I-5 when a crash traps a man in his SUV for hours before finally getting free.
Oh my, here he comes.
There we go.
Wow. Oh my goodness. It's a day marked by business as usual for some, but also an adventure through the snow for many others.
Now the forecast shows a clear night ahead, but also freezing temperatures and potential for more trouble on the roadways.
Thank you for joining us tonight as we continue our special edition snowstorm coverage tonight at 5.
Our crews are spread out all over the area, from the metro up to Washington and even out into the Gorge.
We're everywhere, and we're busy here in the studio in downtown too. Let's kick it all off with Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino in our KGW Weather Center. Matt.
Hey, Laurel, look at this picture from Bearport. Gary sending this in. That's right, 15 inches of snow at his place. That's up at about 1,200 feet, but still, that's one of the heavier amounts that I've seen from this storm. As you mentioned, downtown Portland on the west side hardly had anything at all, but several locations did have a lot of snow. Camas had 8 inches, Longview nearly 8 inches, Bonneville Dam and the Gorge had a foot, Gresham 4 inches, and Mount Tabor 2 inches, and there were 2 inches up in the West Hills too. So it just really depended on where you were, but from downtown, really from even like 39th Avenue, Cesar Chavez to the west over towards Washington County, not much snow fell at all. Now here's a look outside right now. We're still sitting at 34 with a strong east wind, but temperatures will be plummeting overnight tonight, especially since the showers will be decreasing. There aren't many in downtown right now. Still some snow showers around Yamhill County and around Salem, and then up in the Cascades, we've been getting a lot of snow, and there's still some Cascade foothill snow, but the trend will be for these to die off as we go into the nighttime hours, and temperatures that are near freezing right now will be quickly dropping below freezing. Sunsets in about a half an hour, and once we get to 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, we'll be in the 20s again, and some places dropping into the teens. Even the coast in the low to mid 40s right now will be headed below freezing. So the point there is everything will freeze or refreeze. That's going to make roads slippery. That's going to make walkways and sidewalks slippery. And it may look like the road is okay, but it could be a layer of ice. So be super careful driving around out there. So snow showers end tonight, becomes very cold, as I mentioned. Snow will begin tomorrow late afternoon or more likely early evening. And we could get anywhere again from 1 to 4 inches before it turns to rain for the valley. So this will eventually be a rain event for the valley, but that may not happen until the overnight hours Sunday night and into Monday morning, as that snow level will lift to 500, then eventually 1,000 feet by Monday. So there's a chance for those of you who missed out that we'll get a few inches of snow tomorrow night before it turns to rain. More on this later. Back to you.
All right, we'll see you then. Matt, thank you.
If you got up early this morning and tuned into the KGW Sunrise crew, you saw this, how ice played a big role in several crashes, including this big one on a freeway flyover right in downtown Portland that trapped the driver of that SUV you see.
I was sitting there with my coffee. I couldn't take my eyes off that one. That crash shut down the ramp from I-5 South to Interstate 84 East for 5.5 hours. KGW's Pat Doris talked with the driver.
Before dawn, we could see the blinking lights and the Love's fuel truck stuck on the flyover ramp. Beside it, barely visible, a maroon SUV driven by Alex Reem Sapiano. I met him after he was finally able to drive his banged-up rig off the overpass. We talked inside the SUV. I recorded him with my phone. He was on his way to work when the crash happened.
A 4Runner had spun out. There was about 6 cars ahead of me. Everyone had slowed to a stop. Then I looked in my rear view, seeing that the semi was coming and not slowing down, or at least not slowing down as quickly as I thought he should have. So I tried to get out of his way because he was on the far side, and then the car in front of me did the same thing, cutting me off, so I had to stop, and then the back end of the semi came out from behind him and hit me.
And that was that. He was stuck, wedged between the Love's fuel truck and the edge of the freeway, and behind them, traffic started stacking up. At first, it seemed the crash would be cleared quickly.
And the original tow truck driver was having me hit the gas while he was trying to pull me out, but I was too pinned in there.
And that's when everything slowed down. Other tow trucks arrived, but couldn't do anything. Finally, a big semi-tow arrived at the front of the fuel truck, but still could not find a solution. As we watched during our live broadcast from Sky 8, we had no idea what shape the driver was in. The fire department arrived, and incredibly for those of us watching, Alex came out the driver's side window.
Oh my, here he comes.
There we go. Wow.
Just fine. And fortunately, had the fencing to help with his balance.
I could have got out of the car anytime I wanted to. I just didn't want to leave my heater.
Smart move, smart move. Eventually, the other drivers stuck behind the crash were able to back down the freeway ramp and clear the road. That let the big tow truck return, this time on the backside of the fuel truck. They lifted it up and moved it over enough to free Alex and his rig. After 5.5 hours, he was finally able to drive off. Call the boss and say,
that's who I was on the phone with before you walked out. Because he just got back to me.
Well, if he doesn't believe it, tell him to look on the news.
Right?
Oh, dude. He seemed fine after the long ordeal, in much better shape than his SUV. Well, I'm so glad that you're okay.
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. And thanks for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Oh my goodness, what a scary position to be in between a fuel truck and the edge of that bridge.
You know, we were watching it from Sky 8 too. You couldn't tell if there was anybody in it in the initial coverage. We're looking and looking, is there a driver in there? And then all of a sudden he climbs out that window.
And you said that fence, that ended.
You saw where he climbed out. He actually grabbed the fence to get out. It was 10 feet to the north. There was no fence.
So he was lucky that it happened where it did, I guess. Wow. Well, maybe you didn't get a lot of snow, but East Multnomah County really got a good amount.
They did. They got a dumping up there. Kyle Leboshi is out there getting a first-hand look for us and joins us live. Hey, Kyle.
There's plenty of snow out here, but also that biting east wind. It is cold out here. That's not stopping people from coming out here to the city park, though. You see behind me all kinds of snow right here in Gresham today, and more folks are arriving as we speak. The main city park in Gresham, it looked like a snow park for most of the day. Dozens of kids and parents brought their sleds and took a ride down the hill. The snow, it was icy and fast. That's good for sledding. The only challenge is to avoid the obstacles like benches and trash cans. Several people we spoke with have been coming here for years. It's a neighborhood tradition. When the snow falls, you head to the park.
It's the place to be. It's the best hill.
The better the storm, the better the hill.
So how does this one compare?
This is a good one, actually, because the way that the sun has melted a little bit makes it a little bit icier, a little bit slicker, and a little bit more packed, and so they can go a little farther.
I want to snow like the entire week so I can like come down here and probably make it to the end of the park.
And maybe miss some school.
Oh, yeah.
I think the hill is like very good for sledding and making snowman / snowball fights because this hill is mostly for fun.
Couple of cars just rolled in with even more people. A lot of people just walk here, though. It's right in the heart of the neighborhood. They just head over with their sleds and spend the day here. Back to you.
Looks like fun.
So much fun. Thank you, Kyle.
That wind will get you, though.
It does look cold, too. You know, you brought your sled because we were hoping we could sled out here on Jefferson.
We were originally going to be outside. I was going to take that thing right down Jefferson.
Maybe next time.
Are you disappointed?
I am. I don't know. Might have been a little scary, though, if he was captain.
Yep, depending on where you are, you may be digging out, or you may be wondering exactly where all the snow is.
Southwest Washington saw its fair share today. That's where meteorologist Joe Ranieri is. And where exactly are you now, Joe? Sounds like Joe's having a hard time hearing us. He's near Amboy right now, we're told, but we'll check back with him a little bit later to see what conditions are.
Yeah.
There are also a number of warming centers opening tonight across our area. If you or someone you know needs help, you can call 211 for information, the closest shelter and information on how to get there.
Those centers are also encouraging donations of cold weather items like blankets and sleeping bags, things like that, tents even, to help people deal with these freezing temperatures.
Stay with us. We have a lot more coming your way on this winter blast. And a reminder, you can track up-to-the-minute weather conditions and look at the latest forecast across our region by downloading our brand new Portland weather app from KGW. It's free on all Android and Apple devices.
And when we come back, we're heading out to the Gorge. We'll have the latest on the conditions out there in a live report. Stay with us.
Than anywhere. The Chair Outlet, Portland, Tigard, and Kaiser.
Experience the human side of engineering at Landmark Ford Lincoln, where you'll find exceptional values on the entire Lincoln family of performance-inspired luxury models, like Nautilus, Lincoln MKC, Continental, MKT, MKZ Hybrid, and the remarkable Navigator. At Landmark, you'll also have priority access to the Northwest's largest Lincoln Parts and Service Center. Landmark Ford Lincoln and Tigard, where your satisfaction is our main concern.
George has heart failure and a busy day ahead. George has Entresto, a heart failure pill that helps keep people alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARM. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
That was great. Find more chairs here than anywhere. The Chair Outlet, Portland, Tigard, and Kaiser.
Time to treat yourself to a blissful night's sleep. Now, through February 18th, shop the bedroom event at Dania Furniture and save up to 20% on beds, nightstands, dressers, chests, and mattresses, from individual pieces to entire collections. Visit a local showroom or shop online today to find the furniture that reflects your personality and favorite design style. Dania Furniture. We make it simple, you make it home.
The number bed by Instant Comfort, the bed that changes with you, exclusively at Mattress World Northwest.
What's so interesting to me is the difference in snow totals from one neighborhood to the next. Our assistant news director, John, lives 5 miles from me in southeast Portland. He said he got a few inches. Over in northeast Portland, half an inch.
It was neighborhood to neighborhood this time. It really was. I mean, I've been through a lot of Portland snowstorms. This one, once again, unique in its own way.
What a difference, though. I mean, we had 3 and 4, probably 4 inches in Happy Valley. I drive down, get on Sunnyside as soon as I cross over in you know, Clackamas Town Center, it started clearing up and there was almost nothing.
And there have been others where it's been the west side that's gotten the snow and the east side is going, hey, what are you talking about? There was the really weird one.
Pull your hair out?
It's tough. Yeah, it's winter forecasting fun for sure. There was the weirdest one was a couple of years ago when it just kept raining in Portland, but Scappoose had like 4-6 inches of snow, and the coast had more snow than the Cascades did. So they're weird. They can be really weird, and this was unique in its own right. Let's take you outside. There's the Wells Fargo Sky Cam. Once again at 5:10, sun going down in about 20 minutes, and it's really going to get cold. Even if the sky doesn't clear, it'll get cold. When the sky does clear, it's going to get really cold. 34 in Portland. East wind at 21 miles an hour and stronger gusts out there. So here's Doppler radar. Snow showers are beginning to wind down. There's still a few out there over near the Coast Range, Yamhill County, western Washington County, and then up around the Cascades, there's a bit more, and out in the Gorge, and more to the south and east of Salem. But for the most part, the trend will be for these to wind down overnight. Let's check the temperatures all around. 33 at Beaverton, Forest Grove at 32 already. It's 26 in Happy Valley, and it's 28 in Hood River. So everybody cooling off quickly. Seattle's only 29, and yes, they had 6 to 8 inches across the Puget Sound area too. So snow showers will end tonight. It's going to get very cold, teens, certainly in the 20s, but if we clear off into the teens, snow will begin really like Sunday evening. I have the afternoon here, but I think it's going to be more like after sunset tomorrow, and we'll get a few inches before the snow level lifts up to about 500 and then eventually 1,000 feet by Monday morning. So it's going to be another weird one where we get snow in the beginning, but then it turns to rain. I'll show you why that's the case this time too. Meanwhile, here's our old storm pinwheeling its way down on the central coast right now. It'll continue to move away, and as it does, it'll pull the snow showers away with it. Then we look farther to the north for our next system, which will be coming down again from up in the Yukon territories. Now, the problem with this one is it's going to develop low pressure off the coast of Vancouver Island again. But instead of drifting straight south, that one looks like it's going to cut inland to our north. That's not really the problem with it. That's just what it is. And because that low pressure center moves inland to our north, we're going to get a south wind developing tomorrow evening, and that's what's going to lift that snow level up to about 500 to 1,000 feet. So sort of a big change with that. And as we go through the week, what looked like could be an extremely snowy week now looks like it's going to be a week where we get the snow level up to about 500 to 1,000 feet, and most of us avoid the snow, and we have rain in the valley. So things are actually looking a lot more tolerable now for the week ahead as compared to how they were looking a couple days ago, and it looked like it's going to be snow, 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 snow. So that's what we've got going on. This system's still pinwheeling a few showers around us, but it is beginning to pull away from us, and that's certainly good news that that will be the case, and that will happen, and that's going to get us out of the snow situation and into a clearing sky and a very cold sky tonight. My weather computer happens to be stuck. I don't know why, but it is. So we're going to have to just talk about the 7-day forecast. And as I mentioned, we'll drop to the teens and 20s overnight tonight. Tomorrow we'll begin with even a little bit of sunshine and then look for snow to develop after sunset tomorrow and then change to rain overnight, Sunday and into Monday. You know, the question that's on everybody's mind, of course, is will there be school on Monday morning?
Yeah, right.
And right now I'm optimistic, more so than I was a couple of days ago, that we'll be okay in the valleys. Now, anywhere with some elevation up in Clark County, the Gorge, maybe out in the hills, Vernonia, up towards Damascus, we may get some cancellations and delays around the area. But I think for the big school districts in town,
I hear the kids
probably be okay.
now.
Sorry, kids.
They're already
first you miss out on the
it.
snow and then the snow day situation. But we'll keep you posted on that through the weekend.
Thank you, Matt.
Sure.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Still more to come. Grocery store shelves picked clean in the run-up to the overnight storm.
What local grocers are now doing to get those empty shelves restocked.
Call Permatreat today for a free estimate.
Know what's coming with the new Portland Weather app from KGW. Get severe weather alerts and weather cams. Download it now.
People with type 2 diabetes are excited about the potential of once-weekly Ozempic. In a study with Ozempic, a majority of adults lowered their blood sugar and reached an A1C of less than 7 and maintained it.
Oh, under 7?
And you may lose weight. In the same one-year study, adults lost on average up to 12 pounds.
Oh, up to 12 pounds?
A 2-year study showed that Ozempic does not increase the risk of major cardiovascular events like heart attack, stroke, or death.
Oh, no increased risk.
Ozempic should not be the first medicine for treating diabetes or for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not share needles or pens. Don't reuse needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Ozempic. Stop taking Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may happen, including pancreatitis. Tell your doctor if you have diabetic retinopathy or vision changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase the risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
I discovered the potential with Ozempic.
Ask your healthcare provider if Ozempic is right for you.
The Pacific Northwest Sportsman's Show. Join us February 6th through 10th at the Portland Expo Center.
All right, welcome back. We all know the Gorge is a trouble spot, a known trouble spot when we get weather like this.
Also so beautiful, and Art Edwards is there. You got to go to some spectacular scenery today, Art.
Well, I did get to see some great stuff today. You know what? We're here in Troutdale, really at the entrance to the gorge. The wind is really starting to pick up here, and what we also see is an awful lot of snow on the ground. They got some heavy snow here. The on-ramps to I-84, as you can see, as that truck moves forward, really look like they're pretty good. But when you get on I-84 itself, the road is still covered with snow, and there are signs that are out that let people know exactly what they should have if they're going to drive on the interstate. Now, we saw trucks that simply just pulled off the side of the road so they could put on their chains because they knew that the conditions were going to be difficult. A lot of people did make the trip to Multnomah Falls today. We talked to some people about the drive to the falls, and they said that the right car was very important.
Evo 9, so it's awesome. I love it. It's, you know, all-wheel drive. The fun is great. Well, for me, it was easy, but other people were struggling. It's a little bumpy.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, I love driving in the snow, and it wasn't too bad. A little bit icy, but, you know.
Hey, we even found one guy out there at Multnomah Falls who was wearing shorts, even though the temperature was around freezing. He says he always wears shorts, doesn't matter what the weather is. He says he's just fine. Now, the bottom line is that there still is an awful lot of snow that is on I-84. It's open, you can get through, but you do have to be really careful. And as the signs we showed you earlier say, you have to have either traction tires or chains with you in order to make it through. Back to you guys.
Well, that guy in shorts just makes me feel cold just
He
looking at him.
He wears it no matter what the forecast.
Thank you, Art. As everyone got ready for this weekend storm, many of you saw store shelves like this completely picked clean, and people were joking about that there was a run on kale.
There was a run on kale. I got all the kale.
You got all the kale?
Yeah, I use it to like salt in the front of my driveway. I put it down and you don't slip, right? We wanted to see how local stores are rebounding today, so Nina Milhoff went out to take a look and joins us live. Hi, Nina.
Yeah, you're using kale as a garnish on your platters probably, right? Chris, yeah, I was out there at the Fred Meyer. Laurel and I shop at the Hollywood Fred Meyer, and yes, I'm telling you, there was a run on kale, people. There was none left. I don't know if it's been restocked today. We're down here at the Safeway in the Pearl District. Same situation. They had tons of empty store shelves. Their manager tells us checkout lines yesterday snaked all the way to the produce and the deli departments. People were buying TV dinners, jugs of water. The store manager said they've almost never sold as much alcohol as they did yesterday. Some things were being restocked today, though, as they came in. This guy was restocking creamer, but their delivery of milk never came because of icy conditions on I-84 out east, so they just have to wait. Remember those pictures, though, of the Trader Joe's in Lake Oswego from last night? The milk, veggie, and bread aisles totally empty. It was weird looking. So I talked to that store today. They said they worked overnight and this morning it's mostly all back up to full now. Shoppers talked to us about what they have to have on hand. What's like your apocalypse food? What do you have to have if you're going to hunker down?
Bacon. Bacon, got my bacon. Bacon and eggs are awesome, so it's one of my favorite things for breakfast. And of course you have to grab some good cocktail mixers so you can sit by the fire and have some good drinks.
She is my kind of gal. I like her style. So a lot of stores preparing and over-ordering in anticipation if we get any more snow. Chris Willis, I know bacon and eggs, that's got to be on your list, right? No kale.
No doubt about it. Yeah, well, the kale, you know, out in the driveway, you don't slip.
All will be right with the world when the kale is back.
Look at Tina. What?
And the wine.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Nina. Stay with us. We have our crew spread out all over the metro area tracking the conditions out there.
Yeah, hey, remember to use the hashtag KGW weather when you post to social media, and we'll use it on the air. Here are just a few of the pics that you guys have sent us so far. Thanks.
I'm Halsey, and this week I'm hosting Saturday Night Live. I'm Halsey, and I'm this week's musical guest. Halsey. Cue cards. Catering.
I'm Heidi Gardner, but this week, I'm Halsey.
Hey, Chris.
Oh, what's up, Halseys? Oh, the Halseys?
It's incredible to watch athletes in their prime push the limits, take risks. This is a chance to say, I am the best in the world. And we'll give them $1 million, too.
I remember a time when great service was a given.
Thank you. And I'm at a time in my life where I want to do business with companies who do right by me.
The Hartford is the only auto insurance company voted one of the world's most ethical companies 10 times. And 96% of customers recommend the Hartford based on their claims experience. Join the millions of customers who trust the Hartford. Call 1-800-684-3069 to get a quote from the AARP Auto Insurance Program from the Hartford.
My problem was never really my feet. It was always my back. I'd had as many epidurals that I could possibly have in 1 year. And that's when Tara at the Good Feet store kept telling me to try her arch supports. The future I can see now. I couldn't see it before. You can't use this.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
I'm Dr. Young Shin, Kaiser Permanente Northwest. Between our quality outcomes and coordinated system, top doctors and surgeons come to us wanting to be part of our team. We want the best quality of life for our patients so that they can continue to thrive.
What's the one change that you'd love to make to your home? The 72nd Annual Portland Spring Home and Garden Show can make it happen. Meet with hundreds of professionals and find the right match for your home project. Plus, be inspired by 11 incredible showcase gardens. Bring your photos, ideas, and family and take the first step to creating the home you love while your kids play at the Kids Zone by Portland Parent Magazine. It's time to love where you live. Portland's only Spring Home and Garden Show, February 21st through the 24th at the Expo Center.
Call 503-287-5000. Zubindon and Curtis, right now.
Okay, a big thank you to you and all the viewers who have been sharing a lot of those great photos and videos of the snow in your neighborhood.
We just love them. Cassidy Quinn is here now with a look at the fun you're all having with us.
Yes, and I'm in solidarity with all of you enjoying the snow with my hat on inside. So it looks like so much fun where you guys got a lot of the snow. Of course, a lot of people have been measuring the amount of snow they received. So Jamaica, she says she saw 8 inches in Washougal, and that's in town, not even up in the hills. Kim spotted 3 inches in the Montevilla neighborhood in northeast Portland. Sherry counted lots. Yes, that is an exact amount. In east-ish Vancouver, the kids clearly are loving it. So check out Taylor's little one making a snowball. Looks like good snowball snow up in Kalama. Amber's a girl standing in over 6 inches of snow in Gresham. She's got the right outfit for it too. And then look at this one. You can barely even see the kiddo in this picture that Ray sent in exploring the beautiful winter wonderland. That looks so cool. Of course, the dog's loving it too. So here's little Trooper. After only 5 minutes playing outside, he practically turned into a snowball, going undercover, some camouflage. Then we have the snow people ready to play. Crystal built this one up in Vancouver. And then John, this one is impressive, brought Frank to life. There's buttons, a scarf, the warm hat, really everything except it hasn't started singing and dancing yet. Of course, it would not be a big event in Portland without an appearance from the Unipiper. So he put on his Olaf suit and Unipiped around southeast Portland with the flames, probably kept him warm, playing Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Of course, guys. Lots of Frozen references today out on some of the frozen roads. Back to you.
Everybody having so much fun, though.
You know, so much fun. Brought a bag full of stuff to make a snowman. You know, a carrot, a top hat. Not enough snow here at the station.
Someday, Laurel.
Yeah, right. We'll get it eventually.
Thank you, Cassidy.
Well, some folks up in Vancouver woke up to a half a foot or more of snow this morning. Some measured many feet, or at least a foot of powder, rather, in parts of Camas.
KGW's Keely Chalmers spent the morning on the north side of the Columbia River and found folks not just slipping around, but also helping out.
As soon as the sun was up, the shovels were out in Vancouver Heights. This driveway, just one of many Daniel Copus planned to tackle on this snowy day.
Shoveled my driveway, now I'm shoveling my wife's grandparents' driveway, go over to my in-laws next, shovel their driveway. Just try to help them out a little bit.
A good 3 inches of snow fell in this part of Vancouver. It blanketed lawns and driveways and a soft layer of powder.
It's actually nice and fluffy, so it's easy to shovel as opposed to the hard packed stuff that we get sometimes. So.
But it was a different story out on the roads. Soon after drivers started rolling over it, that white fluffy snow turned to slick packed ice. Cars spun their wheels, unable to get a grip.
Things are gonna get a little fun, especially in the morning commute. So it's all about, you know, taking the time, giving yourself extra space.
I'm sure it'll get worse the more people drive on it, so hopefully we can get the plows and the de-icer trucks out and take care of it before it gets really bad.
We found many people leaving their cars at home and heading out instead on foot, although that too proved challenging at times.
I almost slipped and died, so I'm concerned because my wife went to yoga and she's down the street, so I'm wondering how she's gonna make it up here.
No, it's not bad at all actually, except for you can't see the curb, and so you kind of fall a little bit, but it's fun.
The bottom line, whether you were on wheels or on foot, the safest way to get around Vancouver this morning was cautiously.
And just take it slow.
In Vancouver, Keely Chalmers, KGW News.
And coming up, we'll have the latest on the conditions and what's coming next for the weekend. We'll be right back.
Is your car ready? Well, you can use this checklist. Keep your gas tank at least half full. Check your fluid levels. Make sure all your lights are working. Check your brakes. Inspect your tires. And stay safe by following KGW wherever you get news.
Find more chairs here than anywhere. The Chair Outlet, Portland, Tigard, and Kaiser.
So this is our parts room. Everything in here you're going to see is factory parts. This is an important part of the business. The manufacturer spends billions of dollars developing these parts for quality and safety. I guess this is something that sets us apart from everybody else, is that we insist on it, and we built our business on that. Beware of imitations. That's it.
Shop Dania Furniture, the premier modern contemporary home furnishings destination. Dania Furniture offers quality craftsmanship at an outstanding value. Shop one of our stores or outlets near you or online at daniafurniture.com.
I am the legendary DQ chicken strip basket. Now just $4.99. For this, and these, and those, and of course that. So much that. Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Find more chairs here than anywhere. The Chair Outlet, Portland, Tigard, and Kaiser.
Weekday mornings, KGW meteorologist Rod Hill is on it, alerting you first.
Super cold.
School closures and delays updated fast.
Snow rotating.
Traffic expert Chris McGinnis helping you stay safe.
Really treacherous. The traffic is almost stopped.
Whether you've lived here your whole life,
here's our storm coming,
or it's your first winter.
This is not normal.
The most accurate.
The snow bullseye.
Most trusted morning team. KGW News at Sunrise. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. This is KGW News at 5.
The back end of the semi came out from behind him and hit me.
I wake up and there's no snow now, so it was interesting.
So what do you think about the sledding out here today?
Good.
You going fast?
Yes.
Yes. Now at 5:30, from a little to a lot. A weekend storm covers some parts of the metro in snow and dodges others.
And tonight we're watching for the threat of ice as melted snow and slush freezes into the evening. We have special edition team snowstorm coverage for you.
All right, first let's get to KGW's Kristen Severance in downtown, where a tree has fallen on a couple cars. Kristen.
Yeah, so we're at the South Park blocks at Park and Clay. And look at this massive tree. You can see the roots sticking out of the ground. This tree came down around 3 o'clock today. So if you follow me, you're going to see how big this tree is. And at the very end here, you'll see where the tree fell on this Subaru. It's getting a little loud because you can tell that crews are starting to cut down this tree and clean it up. So if you look over here, that's the second car that was damaged when this tree fell down. Now, even though downtown Portland didn't get a ton of snow, I just talked to an arborist with the city of Portland, and he told me this is most likely weather related. So either it's from the cold, or maybe the ground is really wet here. You can see how muddy it is, or maybe it's from wind. The number one thing, no one was hurt here, and of course there is some damage to the cars, but I talked to the Subaru's owner. He told me he has insurance, and he said this is something that happens. But the number one thing, could this happen to any other trees in this area? So that's going to be the number one question. Arborists are going to start looking into that after they clean up this big mess. So tree behind me came down around 3 o'clock today. No one's hurt. 2 cars injured. This is weather related, and an arborist will be looking in to see if any of the other trees could possibly come down. Back to you.
That is a giant tree. It covers an entire block almost.
Wow. Luckily.
You were saying that it's a busy place.
That is a busy area in North Park blocks. Nobody hurt. That is, wow, lucky. All right, Kristen, thank you for that. Now we want to get to Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino in the Weather Center with more on what we can expect tonight. Matt?
Yeah, Chris, the big thing tonight is how cold it is going to get. We're going to see temperatures drop well into the 20s, if not lower. So here's Doppler radar. Still some snow showers around McMinnville. We may get some minor, a trace, a dusting, possibly a half an inch here or there. But for the most part, we're done with any new snowfall. That's not the concern. The concern is we had temperatures above freezing today. We're going to be quickly dropping below freezing now that we're getting on sunset. And everything is going to refreeze and turn icy if it wasn't icy already. See this? We're at 33 in Beaverton, but King City, Westland already at or below freezing, 25 in Happy Valley. Chartell's at 32. So if you're not below freezing, you will be below freezing soon. So just keep that in mind. The roads will get slippery where they have been wet during the day today. Even the coast will drop below freezing. So here's what we're looking at tonight. Snow showers will end. Very cold. Teens if we clear out, 20s if we don't. Either way, everything freezes. And then snow will return tomorrow evening after sunset. I think we'll end up with a trace to maybe 2 inches in some spots before the snow level lifts. We pick up a south wind that warmed things up, and the snow level lifts to 500 to 1,000 feet, which bodes well for Monday morning. We should stay above freezing. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Matt. This was the story of the morning. Wow. Ice playing a big role in several crashes, but this one you're looking at here is the one that got our attention. It was so dramatic. It's on freeway flyover I-84 and the I-5 interchange there, right in downtown Portland. A driver is trapped there between the edge of the bridge and that tanker truck.
Look at him just pinned in there and wedged. The crash shut down, as Laurel mentioned, the ramp from I-5 south to I-84 east for 5.5 hours. Can you imagine what the driver of that SUV was thinking? Our Pat Doris can, because he spoke with him.
Before dawn, we could see the blinking lights and the Love's fuel truck stuck on the flyover ramp. Beside it, barely visible, a maroon SUV driven by Alex Ream Sapiano. I met him after he was finally able to drive his banged-up rig off the overpass. We talked inside the SUV. I recorded him with my phone. He was on his way to work when the crash happened.
A Forerunner had spun out. There was about 6 cars ahead of me. Everyone had slowed to a stop. Then I looked in my rear view, seeing that the semi was coming and not slowing down, or at least not slowing down as quickly as I thought he should have. So I tried to get out of his way because he was on the far side. And then the car in front of me did the same thing, cutting me off, so I had to stop. And then the back end of the semi came out from behind him and hit me.
And that was that. He was stuck, wedged between the Love's fuel truck and the edge of the freeway. And behind them, traffic started stacking up. At first, it seemed the crash would be cleared quickly.
And the original tow truck driver was having me hit the gas while he was trying to pull me out, but I was too pinned in there.
And that's when everything slowed down. Other tow trucks arrived, but couldn't do anything. Finally, a big semi-tow arrived at the front of the fuel truck, but still could not find a solution. As we watched during our live broadcast from Sky 8, we had no idea what shape the driver was in. The fire department arrived, and incredibly for those of us watching, Alex came out the driver's side window.
Oh my, here he comes.
There we go.
Wow.
Just fine. And fortunately, had the fencing to help with his balance.
I could have got out of the car anytime I wanted to. I just didn't want to leave my heater.
Smart move, smart move. Eventually, the other drivers stuck behind the crash were able to back down the freeway ramp and clear the road. That let the big tow truck return, this time on the backside of the fuel truck. They lifted it up and moved it over enough to free Alex and his rig. After 5.5 hours, he was finally able to drive off.
Call the boss and say,
that's who I was on the phone with before you walked out. Because he just got back to me.
Well, if he doesn't believe it, tell him to look on the news.
Right?
Oh, dude.
He seemed fine after the long ordeal, in much better shape than his SUV.
Well, I'm so glad that you're okay.
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. And thanks for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Boy, Alex is lucky that he wasn't hurt.
He's lucky he didn't get pulled over for driving an unsafe vehicle once he drove away. That SUV.
I'm sure his boss understands now.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Let's take you out to East Multnomah County. They got a fair amount of snow out there.
They sure did. Kyle Aboshi is out there for us, getting a first-hand look. And Kyle, not just the snow, but those winds are tough too, huh?
Well, you can probably hear it right now. We've got the east winds coming at us, just biting cold. A lot of snow on the ground as well. And it's the snow that brought people here to the park here, the main city park, right in the heart of Gresham. A lot of folks out here today, thanks to the great conditions. That main park looked like a snow park today. Dozens of kids and parents brought their sleds and took a ride down the hill. The snow was icy and fast, good for sledding. The only challenge is to avoid the obstacles like benches and trash cans. Several people we spoke with have been coming here for years. It's a neighborhood tradition. When the snow falls, you know, it's time to head to the park.
It's the place to be. Yeah. It's the best hill.
The better the storm, the better the hill.
So how does this one compare?
This is a good one, actually, because the way that the sun has melted a little bit makes it a little bit icier, a little bit slicker, and a little bit more packed, and so they can go a little farther.
I want it to snow like the entire week so I can come down here and probably make it to the end of the park.
And maybe miss some school.
Oh, yeah.
I think the hill is very good for sledding and making snowman/snowball fights because this hill is mostly for fun.
The beauty is a lot of people can just walk here. It's right in a neighborhood, so they head over with their sleds and head down the hill. Others drive, and generally speaking, road conditions are pretty good here in Gresham. We've got some slush, some ice, but folks are getting around town okay. Back to you.
All right, Kyle, stay warm. As Matt mentioned, too, this snowfall was neighborhood specific. Even,
sure was.
So depending on where you were or where you are, you could be digging out or wondering exactly where the snow is.
So let's take you to Southwest Washington. That's where meteorologist Joe Ranieri is driving around checking out conditions. Where are you now, Joe?
Hey, good evening to you, Laura. You just kind of cut out a little bit, but I can tell you, we've been kind of driving all over through parts of Southwest Washington this afternoon, and quite a bit of snow once you cross over the bridge, and you've probably seen from a lot of the video and the pictures you've been getting from our viewers. We actually went over a little bit farther east into parts of Battleground. There was a decent amount, especially in the higher hills, and we were first spoke to you guys at 4:30. We're live over in Yakult, and several inches of snow, and that is going to be one area that's going to be really seeing some very slick conditions heading into late tonight and tomorrow morning. Several inches of new snow just several hours, I should say, ago. Now we're going to start to see it refreeze, but I want to show you a live look of I-5 right now heading southbound. And we're starting to see some clear conditions along the interstate right now, but there will be some spots that didn't get a chance to thaw out in the last couple of hours, and with temperatures well below freezing here in just the next couple of hours, expect to see some very slow going conditions out there tomorrow. And again, we've been seeing just some snow-covered roads along the shoulder of I-5. We have noticed some trucks with a WashDOT that have been kind of surveying the area and kind of getting ready to plow any areas that might need to be cleared to avoid any slick spots heading into tomorrow. But again, that's throughout southwest Washington. You travel into downtown Portland, you're not going to have any issues out there the next couple of hours, but just be aware it might not be slick on the west side like we've been telling you, but again, it's a completely different story once you cross the river into Portland. Back to you.
All right, Joe, thank you. And a quick reminder, Drive 8 is a four-wheel drive. There's a driver in the car, so Joe's not driving.
That's right.
Completely safe, but stay safe, giving us a good view.
Stay with us. We have a lot more on this weekend winter blast. And a reminder, you can track up-to-the-minute weather conditions and look at the latest forecast across our region by downloading the Portland Weather app from KGW. It's brand new and it's free on Android and Apple devices.
Okay, when we come back, we're heading out to the Gorge. We'll have the latest on the conditions there coming in a live report. Stay with us.
Your muscles relax, your spine decompresses, and you breathe better. Right now, you can save $500. Visit Relax the Back today and save.
It was my dream to grow up and be a ballerina. I can remember my parents watching me in the audience. They were so proud of me. Now they won't even look at me.
It was my dream to be a basketball player. College scouts used to come out to my games and just watch me play. I don't know how everything got so different.
It wasn't your dream to be addicted to drugs. So what changed? Call our 24/7 addiction helpline and our caring team can give you hope for long-term recovery and a path back to your dreams.
You've got to check out the award-winning Dick Hanna Subaru this season. Every new Dick Hanna Subaru includes our brand new lifetime warranty at no cost. We cover your new Subaru for life. Jump into a 2019 Subaru Outback 2.5i for $25,749, or the 2019 Subaru Crosstrek 2.0i Premium for $23,600. Visit Dick Hanna Subaru during the Subaru True Love event and fall in love with Subaru today. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice.
At Relax the Back, we know our clients who choose Tempur-Pedic sleep better. Now, at Relax the Back, you can improve your sleep and save $500. Receive $300 in gifts and free delivery. Visit us today and save.
This is the all-new Chevy Silverado.
It's beautiful.
Beefy and mean looking.
It's the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. The cab is bigger than the last generation.
First truck I've seen make you look smart.
But that's not all.
Oh my!
Whoa! The Silverado has more cargo volume than any competitor.
Very impressive. Get a total value of over $7,000 on this all-new Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. See your Northwest Chevy dealer.
Get traffic reports by downloading the KGW Portland Traffic app.
All right, a spot where things can get dicey. The Gorge is a known trouble spot when we have weather like this.
And our Art Edwards is in Troutdale, the gateway to the Gorge. Coming up on about 5:45, Art. What's it like now as the sun's going down?
Well, the wind has really started to pick up, and it is getting cold out here in Troutdale. You know, if I step out of the way, you can see there's still a lot of snow on the ground out here. They got a fair amount of snow in this latest storm. But if you look forward, you can see that the on-ramp to I-84 looks like it's really in pretty good shape. And in fact, it is. They have been working on the roads out here. Well, once you get up on I-84, things really begin to change. Earlier, we were on I-84. We could see that the sign was lit up that told people to make sure that they had either traction devices or traction tires to make sure that they could get through there. And there is a layer of really kind of frozen snow that is on the road. We saw a number of big rigs that just pulled off to the side of the road so that they could put their chains on and just left one lane open for people to drive through. Now, a lot of folks were on their way out to Multnomah Falls because it is beautiful out there today. When we caught up with some of the people out there, they said the key to getting to Multnomah Falls was to make sure that you had the right vehicle.
Evo 9, so it's awesome. I love it. It's, you know, all-wheel drive. The fun is great. Well, for me it was easy, but other people were struggling. It's a little bumpy.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, I love driving in the snow, and it wasn't too bad. A little bit icy, but, you know.
And we also found a guy out there who was wearing short pants today. When I asked him about that, I asked if he was cold. He said, oh, no, it's just fine. He said, I wear shorts all the time, no matter what the weather is. So he was out there, said it was okay. I think it was probably a little bit cold to be out there in short pants myself. I don't think that I would do that. So if you're going to be on I-84,
really in this area through the gorge, you have to be careful because there is snow on the road, but we've seen the trucks out there plowing. They're trying to treat it, trying to make it as smooth sailing as possible for people who might be out driving around a little bit tonight. Back to you guys.
So, Art, you don't have shorts on with that jacket?
Art's got almost every piece of skin covered except for his face.
It's cold out there.
Guys out
yeah.
there. All right, a lot of us, we got the snow, you got the precip. Everybody's wondering about the freezing time, okay? Because that's what's going to turn treacherous tonight. Right?
Absolutely, and that's happening by the minute now as we speak. Now that the sun has gone down, temperature's going to really continue to drop. It's a cold air mass. Even with cloud cover, we're all going to drop below freezing, so that's the concern tonight. Slippery roads, slippery sidewalks, walkways, simply because of the freeze or the refreeze, if you will. We did get above freezing today, and things melted out just a bit, and we've had these snow showers adding to moisture to the roads. Now, there are still snow showers out there, but they will end tonight, and it gets very cold. And if it totally clears out, we'll drop into the teens. Even if we get partial clearing, stays a little bit cloudier, we'll still drop into the mid-20s. So either way, very cold. Now, snow will begin again tomorrow evening. I think we're looking about a trace to maybe 2 inches by the time it begins to turn over to rain. So things are looking up in terms of avoiding valley snow for the week ahead. The snow level will lift 500, then 1,000 feet by Monday morning. So overnight Sunday into Monday morning, we will not refreeze. Tonight should be the last night of that. And then that bodes well for schools being in session on Monday morning. So factor that into your plans, schools, teachers, students, and everybody else. Here are the temperatures right now. King City is below freezing. Beaverton is at freezing. Still 34 at the airport, but 32 in Troutdale. And even over in Tillamook, it's 34. Same at Newport. Corvallis, 36. So everybody on the map here will be dropping below freezing. And, of course, it's still in the 20s in Hood River. And boy, are you ever going to get a lot of snow. We've already had a foot of snow in Hood River. We'll probably get another foot as we go through the next couple of days. Now, here's Doppler radar. This is live, showing you snow showers over northern Yamhill County, parts of southern Washington County, rather, and still some scattered showers in the areas of southern Clackamas County. But again, the trend will be for these two ends. A couple of rain showers still showing up on Doppler down around Salem. Those will either turn to snow or end. I'm not expecting much more than a dusting out of that tonight, as our area of low pressure right here zips away down to the south and gets out of our hair. The next one, though, see that's another cold front. That's going to do what the last couple of systems did, drop off the coast of Vancouver Island and develop another area of low pressure. So here's the old one moving out, right? The next one develops up off the coast and begins to roll down our way as we go into tomorrow evening and Monday morning. But because it's going to roll inland to our north, that is going to keep things from getting too cold, or allow things to warm up into the 30s and get us above freezing and keep us above freezing. So that's why I'm not too concerned about tomorrow night being an issue. You can see as we go forward here that we begin to actually get the clearing as we go into Sunday morning. That's tomorrow morning. And then that next system begins to roll in Sunday evening. So here we go. Here comes the precipitation again as we go into Sunday night. But most of us will begin to see it rain. Now, what about snowfall totals from this? The modeling, I think, is pretty good. 1/3 of an inch maybe in the west still, so we're looking at anywhere between a trace and an inch. And this time the east side may not get as much. The one thing about that is we will still have an east wind initially. That will keep us cold, but then the south wind works its way up, and that's why you're not seeing any snow painted in the valley there. Now, as far as the ski areas go, boy, oh boy, 4 or 5 feet of snow, certainly possible, if not likely, over the next several days. We roll this out through the next 7 days. There's over 5 feet on Mount Hood, 75 inches at Hoodoo. So our low elevation snowpack, 1,000 feet and below, is really going to do well. There goes the old system moving on down to the south. And this is Sunday evening. See a mix over Portland, snow to the east, rain to the south, and then eventually the rain works its way in, and that's what we're with. So this is Monday morning. We're raining across the metro area unless you're up above about 1,000 feet. Otherwise, it will be snow there. We'll actually get some clearing as we go into Wednesday. So, again, things looking up for us a bit. And there's some clearing on Thursday, rather. Late Wednesday and Thursday, we catch some clearing. Our high temperature today was 36 degrees, as you can see there. And we will be a little bit warmer for you for tomorrow. Okay, let's check out the current conditions in Portland. We're sitting at 34 and the freezing level at 1,800 feet. Now, the rest of the week, we've got a chance of rain and snow just about every day except for Thursday, but I think the snow level will stay off the valley floor. So that's the part that'll make living a little easier. No more runs on kale.
A lot of kids disappointed though.
I was
Sorry,
just
kids.
thinking that
I
too.
know.
They were thinking Monday was our day, right?
I know.
So do your homework.
Yeah.
You're going to need to
Get her
turn it in
done.
Monday.
Get it done.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, coming up, grocery store shelves picked clean in the run-up to this overnight storm.
What local grocers are doing to get those empty shelves restocked.
But your builder didn't seal or protect your granite countertops or bathroom tile. It has to be done. Call Permatreat today for a free estimate.
Know what's coming with the new Portland Weather app from KGW. Get severe weather alerts and weather cams. Download it now.
If you've got mobility problems, come try out one of Chair Outlet's many lift chairs. They're easy to use, comfortable, and will help keep you safe. Chair Outlet has the largest selection of power lift chairs in stock in the Northwest. Family owned and operated, Chair Outlet.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Geico can help you save on homeowners insurance.
Nice tip. I'll give you $2 for the chair.
2? That's a Victorian antique.
All right. How much for the recliner then?
Wait. How did that get out here? That is definitely not for sale.
Is this a yard sale?
If it's in the yard, then it's for sale.
Here we go.
Geico. It's easy to switch and save on homeowners and renters insurance.
If you've got mobility problems, come try out one of Chair Outlet's many lift chairs. They're easy to use, comfortable, and will help keep you safe. Chair Outlet has the largest selection of power lift chairs in stock in the Northwest. Family owned and operated, Chair Outlet.
I don't know who invented them, but I could kiss them. Thank you so much.
It was like a whole new world for my feet.
This felt good on my feet. I wanted to put my shoes on.
I can exercise, I can walk.
I could go on a 5-mile hike the next day.
With the good feet, our supports, man, I'm always ready.
I am 100% really back on my feet.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
You too can live the life you love with arch supports from the Good Feet store.
The Pacific Northwest Sportsman's Show. Join us February 6th through 10th at the Portland Expo Center.
As we all got ready for the storm, a lot of people sent us photos of pictures like this of store shelves picked over. I had people write me and say they got the last. What'd you get, buttermilk, Chris?
Yes, I've got Melba toast and buttermilk because all the bread, you know. Dang, those
everything
people,
was
right?
gone.
Everybody made a mad dash. So we wanted to see how the local stores are rebounding today. Our Nina Melhoff went out to take a look for us, Nina.
You're buying buttermilk? What are you using buttermilk for?
There's nothing left.
The
milk was gone.
The
shelves are
okay,
empty.
Yes, I was out there. That's it? But
Yeah.
You're not drinking buttermilk though, right?
No, obviously not.
Okay. Yes. There was runs on kale. I was out at Fred Meyer with hundreds of other people too. Same situation here at the Safeway store here in Northwest Portland in the Pearl District. They had empty shelves as well. Their manager tells us the checkout lines here yesterday were all the way to the produce and deli departments. People were buying TV dinners, jugs of water. The store manager said they've almost never sold as much alcohol as they did yesterday. Some things were being restocked today though as they came in. This man was restocking creamer, but their delivery of milk never came because of icy conditions on I-84 out east, so they just have to wait. But remember those pictures of the Trader Joe's in Lake Oswego that we showed you last night? The milk, veggie, and bread aisles, they were totally empty. It was weird looking. So I talked to that store today. They said they worked overnight and this morning. It's mostly all back up to full now. Shoppers talked to us about what they have to have on hand. What's like your apocalypse food? What do you have to have if you're going to hunker down?
Bacon. Bacon. Got my bacon. Bacon and eggs are awesome, so it's one of my favorite things for breakfast. And of course, you have to grab some good cocktail mixers so you can sit by the fire and have some good drinks.
I like her style. So a lot of the stores I talked to today say they do watch the weather forecast very closely. They over-order things like milk, eggs, bread in anticipation of a lot of shoppers, but they just couldn't keep up with the demand yesterday. Guys, back to you.
Got to have the bacon.
She said bacon and some cocktails.
You're
set,
right?
Yeah, you're set.
Thank you, Nina. Well, not everyone, maybe you, got snow in the storm.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at how people are dealing with a little disappointment coming up next.
Halsey, cue cards. Catering.
I'm Heidi Gardner, but this week I'm Halsey.
Hey, Chris.
What's up, Halsies? Oh, the Halsies?
It's incredible to watch athletes in their prime push the limits, take risks.
This is a chance to say, I am the best in the world.
And we'll give them $1 million too.
It starts with a handshake, but at Landmark Ford Lincoln, saving money on a new car is just the beginning. You'll have priority access to the Northwest's largest sports parts and service center, which stays open until midnight. If you ever have an accident, you'll appreciate our body shop. When you need a truck for a weekend project or an SUV for vacation, we have convenient rentals too. It's all part of being a Landmark customer. Landmark Ford Lincoln in Tigard, where your satisfaction is our main concern.
There's a moment when a student gets it. When the lights come on. When they see how maybe this is useful. Maybe this is fun. Or even cool. There's that moment when a switch gets thrown. When you play Oregon lottery games, you're supporting the people who throw the switches every day. Know a great teacher? Nominate them for Oregon Teacher of the Year. Lottery games are based on chance and should be played for entertainment only.
Shop Dania Furniture, the premier modern contemporary home furnishings destination. Dania Furniture offers quality craftsmanship at an outstanding value. Shop one of our stores or outlets near you or online at daniafurniture.com.
Show me the crown. Show me homecoming. Baby sloth videos on YouTube.
Amy, do you mind giving someone else a turn?
Oh, yeah, I've made myself a little comfortable here.
I got a pizza for Amy!
Yes, that's me.
Xfinity lets you search Netflix, Prime Video, and YouTube with the sound of your voice.
And I don't have my wallet, so...
That's simple, easy, awesome. Get started with Xfinity Internet and TV for $40 each a month for 12 months when you bundle both. Click, call, or visit a store today.
Discover the benefits of zero-gravity comfort at Relax the Back.
All right, not everybody woke up to see snow this morning.
You know, we were so prepared. You have your hat, you had your snowboard. I brought things to make a snowman.
Right.
What disappointment.
Someday we will build that snowman. I'm excited. So, of course, the viewers had some fun ways of showing that disappointment, and I am just with you, trying to live vicariously with those of you who did have some snow. So, okay, check out this. We got this picture from MH Wilcox 11 on Instagram. Took it on Burnside. You can see just a little wet roads, definitely no snow, but if you look closely, that sign says chains on or chain up. So yeah, maybe don't put your chains on if you're driving there. Kathleen, she took a nap hoping to wake up to some excitement, but instead was just left asking, what happened to Snowmageddon? Float On in Southeast Portland is thinking maybe they are to blame for the lack of snow. They said it makes total sense the snowpocalypse would steer clear from a place that carries large amounts of salt, since they have tons of salt to make the customers actually float. Of course, not just humans disappointed today. This kitty also unimpressed by the snowfall. At least we're not alone, Laurel. Back to you.
Thank you, Cassidy. One last check on the weather, what we can expect tonight as we head into 6 o'clock hour.
Yeah, I think for some it was snowmania. For others it was flaky-wary. That just didn't really come to pass. But there was a wide variation around town. Overnight tonight, snow showers end. We're going to get snow late tomorrow, more like a trace to a couple of inches. And then it's all rain on Monday morning. So I think Monday morning's commute and schools are probably going to be okay for the valley. Thank
you for joining us for the special edition of the Snow Coverage.
KGW.com and the latest weather app. Everything you need. Have a good night.
Nice, Jess. Nice, Jay.